One second.
All right, I think we're live. Let me double check. Are you on the Facebook group by any chance?
I'll go check it out right now.
Yeah, it looks like we're live on YouTube.
Yep, we're in there.
All right.
What's up?
The software system was saying that Facebook and YouTube and are having difficulties with all the people streaming and watching and all the bandwidth being used. So to be ready for some delays coming in the next couple weeks. Are we good? Are we good on the Facebook group?
Yeah, we're in there. Yep.
All right, perfect. All right, my brother, let's get this party started. I got 30 minutes because I got another live webinar with a group of local movers and shakers. So that's at, I got to get ready for that. So let's knock this out in 30 minutes. Let's give the weekly update. So we're telling everybody, and we're going to actually, me and Jory were talking about, we're going to actually pick a set date and just kind of be like a weekly show. So after this one, we'll pick a date and we'll announce it on our platform so that you guys know to expect us, unless something crazy happens and we'll have to jump on right away. But if not, you'll expect us same time, same every week. So we'll do that. Let us know if you think evenings are better for you or mornings, or I don't know what your schedules are, your home schedules are like. I had to put on a suit today. I was like, bro, I haven't worn a suit in so long. I'm like, let me suit up today.
My barber's on the way over here. It's a secret though. Don't tell anybody. It's essential.
Man, you know how crazy it is. Before we get into the deals and stuff, I was getting dressed, right, and I put this on. It was like a Snuggies commercial for a second. I was like getting comfortable in it. I'm like, damn, I haven't put this on for a second. Then I usually get a cut every week, and I was telling myself, damn, when am I gonna get a cut again? Like the realization of I may not get a haircut for a minute. And what am I going to do with this hair? You're going to start seeing lives with baseball caps a whole lot more often.
Yeah, I'm getting mine.
Taking the risk like that?
That's I mean, I'm not going to, people are going to be scared. My barber is a personal barber. He's not cutting anybody's hair, but he'll come to my house. So.
Oh, okay. He's not seeing like 12, 14 heads a day.
No. He's a really good friend of mine. So he's like, he'll come out. So he's not open. He's closed. He's locked down.
Yeah.
So cool, man. Well, let's get ahead and get some other updates about what we've been doing and the market changing every single day.
I had interesting conversations yesterday where I spoke to the money, right? Mafioso style with private money is kind of like the mob, bro. It's like
100%.
So I had money meetings yesterday, and then I had a meeting with a deal that I'm under contract right now for a buy and hold property. And the seller was like, what's up? Are we closing at the end of this month? What's the deal? What's going on? He's super nervous as a seller. So we'll talk about both those meetings. What do you got on your end that you want to cover this week?
We're still talking to sellers. We're still talking to buyers. We had a closing last week that we had to close, which was a pretty interesting situation. We'll go over there right now, over that with you. I'm in the same. I'm one of the buyers waiting for the money. So I'm interested to see what's going on because we got deals. We had a refi that was canceled. Right before this thing went down. So, just kind of some updates of what we're doing in the business right now. Just kind of keep people. I actually listened to a podcast I sent about the disaster relief bill, the grant. So I kind of did some digging in that. So I'm not an expert, but maybe we can talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah, I've been working a lot on that because since we do commercial financing, a lot of my clients are at the same time. It's funny because it mirrors the investor world where just like right now, a lot of investors are going to chomp at the bit of the opportunities that are going to come, and they're kind of like waiting to see when the dip happens and waiting to see when we come out of this to really jump and take advantage. Small businesses are doing the same. As far as I have a client, for example, has about 8 Metro PCS stores. So he knows that there's a lot of owners out there of Metro PCS stores that have 1 or 2 cell phone stores max that can't survive this, haven't been running it the way that he's been running it. And they're going to be looking to sell at a discount. And he wants to expand. And his goal is, with this coronavirus situation, the opportunities that's coming, he wants to try to get up to 30 to 40 stores by the time it's all said and done, because he feels that right now he's going to be able to buy them a lot cheaper than if he was going to be able to do it a few even weeks ago. You know what I mean? And that's exactly the same exact mindset that the investors have right now that know the game. They know that they're now going to be able to
Definitely. I mean, me, we're all in the same boat right now, where we know that the deals are going to be there right now. So we're just trying to figure out the way to get liquid to pick them up. You know, liquidity is the issue right now. So any way that we can find some liquidity is a plus.
Right. So let's get into the money meeting. So I met with a few hedge funds and I met with the rest of my private money guys, and there's money coming into the market right now, and it's some people will label them gougers, you know. Some people there's always people that are going to take opportunity of the situation, because when traditional money that's been in the game for the last few years puts it on pause and pulls out to see what's happening, which is basically what happened. All the traditional money pulled out. So then now all the, here you go, but I'm taxing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I'm taxing.
The price is going up. Yeah, the price is going up. Interest rates going up. The points are going up. Everything. Yeah,
100%. So they're coming in and saying, well, I'll save your deal at 15 to 18%. You're paying 5 to 7 points, and you got to come in and put a lot of money down. So that money's still out there, and we have access to that money. If you're really stuck in a deal, there's a lot of people out there that are going to say, hey, I'll come and save you, but I'm taxing you. And I'm really looking to come in with opportunities that hoping you're not going to be able to keep up with this, and we'll be able to pick up. So these people are coming in win-win no matter what. I'm going to make a ton of money, and if you can't pay me, then I'm going to collect and play Monopoly and be able to get a lot of assets that way. So there's a lot of that money.
What are you seeing? I know the down payment, you see a lot more money down. I've been seeing people, requesting or asking, hey, anyone loaning right now, zero money down, but that's not really out right now. So what kind of down payments are you seeing them ask for right now?
Right now, we're seeing 40 to 50%. So you got to come in with 40 to 50%. I am in talks with a large institution that is considering 35%, 40%. It's expensive. I mean, right off the jump, they were charging a $4,000 service fee. Now they brought it down to $2,000. Rates are super high. Points, you're paying 4 or 5 points, if not more, on the deals, because they know right now they're saving deals.
So they're saving deals that are desperate. They're about to be cut off the chopping board, so they can come in there and ask you pretty much whatever they want and see if you're going to take it. Take it or leave it.
Correct. So we're trying to roll out something within the next handful of weeks. They're trying to be aggressive, but I would probably say end of the month is more of a realistic, where it's around 65% loan to cost. So you got to come in with 35, 40%, depending on the deal. The rates are definitely going to be in double digits. There's just no There's no way around that right now. You're not going to see the 7-8%. That's gone right now, completely out of the market. And you're gonna pay tax, because the big issue in the private money game right now is nobody really knows what true value is gonna be. That's the reality. So you have the unemployment ratio, how many defaults are gonna come from people not being able to pay, and what's really going to be the true value when this is all said and done? Are we going to dip? I know. How far are we going to dip? Is it going to be 2008 type dip? Is it going to be somewhere in the middle? So the values that are being priced right now, as far as after repair values, those aren't necessarily going to be the end of the day values when we get out of this. So that's what the fear is. Nobody really knows what the value is. Everybody that can give you an opinion is just taking a wild guess.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Really, what we're also doing is we're talking with a lot of our people that were in the fix and flip, or what they call the bridge loans, and their exit strategy was to flip and looking to see if we can restructure this into like a temporary, like 3 to 5 year loan, so that they could turn it into a buy and hold situation. And try to make the numbers work there so that they can hold on to these properties and have 3 to 5 years to figure this out, depending on what the ripple effect is going to be from the coronavirus. So that's another. They may have to, though, put more into it. So to be able to save the deal and figure it out, a lot of private lenders are kind of negotiating and trying to come out with bailout plans, essentially. All right, listen, can you put another $30,000 in the deal? Give us $30,000, bring down that loan amount, and we'll extend you for 3 years, and then we'll figure this out. So a lot of that negotiating is happening right now.
Like modifications. They're doing like loan mods, pretty much, right?
Pretty much. And again, we're still early. This is...
Oh, yeah, we're super early.
We're still early. We still don't know where we're gonna end up. So this is where we're trying to be, and this is like across the board. This is happening with all forbearance conversations, whether you're talking to your credit cards, whether you're talking to your mortgage company, whether you're talking to your car company. It's so early in the game that we could restructure something now and still have to restructure it again 6 months from now, because it could potentially get worse, which is why in the private money game, we're thinking a 3 to 5 year structure, because it gives it plenty of time to figure this out, is where these bailouts, as you know, which you could label it, is happening. But when money comes back, hopefully in the next couple weeks, it'll be definitely in that 35 to 40% down payment. The key word here is going to be skin in the game, which is why getting liquid and being able to come in and drop, 35, 40%, even 50% on certain deals and play Monopoly is key. So if you're sitting here and you're at home, you should be going through your cell phone, tell people the opportunities that are coming, and try to pool as much money as possible, because together as a collective or as a syndicate, you guys can get into your first deals without a problem. I know, Jory, you're still picking up selling opportunities at 50% or less of what the value is.
Definitely. I mean, we just got a house. Yeah, I mean, we're getting stuff right now still at 50% of value, all day long. So that hasn't stopped. The deals are still out there. And it's early with that part too, because we really haven't seen sellers right now haven't really thought about the fact that their values are dropping, right? They're still just trying to process what's going on. There's a lot of them that are already high price, still think their house is worth that. A guy told me yesterday, I'll wait 3 years until I get my price. Well, he might have to wait, 5 years because he was pretty high. So next month, I think, is where you're gonna really start seeing if we're locked down till April 30th, and we might be locked down another month till the beginning of June. The month of May is when you'll really start seeing some people coming out like, hey, I need to get rid of this. I need to take a hit on this. I would start if you can, start scouring the MLS. start locking stuff up in the MLS. I mean, there's deals have been in MLS for 90 plus days. Those people are probably already hurting. Start looking on MLS. Start looking on Zillow for stuff that's been for rent. For a while. I mean, if you want to find a quick source to find some motivated sellers, that's a key place to go. Both of those. Another thing with the pulling the money, if you looked at part of the tax, the tax or bailout, whatever that was. What was the bill they passed? The $2 trillion stimulus bill they passed. They actually again, this is just bits and pieces I've read, but they took away penalties for deducting money from your 401k right now, right? So that's another source where people can deduct money from the 401k to maybe loan you to put in real estate without having to pay a penalty on that. So there's a lot of things that the government did that are very, very positive for real estate investors, right? I mean, one thing we know is that real estate investors are always the ones that are most protected in any kind of stimulus tax plans. And if you actually look at that bill, there were a lot of very interesting things that are actually very positive for people in our career.
Yeah, we got a question. I'm gonna go ahead and go live here with it. And they're asking me, is there a chance to cash out refi? Okay, so that's actually a great question. Yes, there's a chance to still cash out refi, but it's very interesting, right? So I was working with a few clients just yesterday, and there's 3 reasons right now if you're looking to cash out refi right now. You are worried that your income is going to drop, so you need to basically pull out reserves, and you're going to use the equity in your house to do that. Very smart right now. It could get you through tough times, especially if the ripple effect is for the rest of the year and going into next year. So very smart move. You got to know your industry. You got to know your business. You got to know how bad you think the effect is going to be. And it's funny because I've been having conversations with a lot of people, and people are trying to be positive and people are trying to stay in a positive mindset, and they should. I definitely don't have a problem with that, but you also got to be smart. So, for example, I had a conversation, and he's in the marble tile game. Well, is that going to take a big hit in the next 6 months?
Definitely could.
Construction, marble tile, and he's sitting in over $100,000 worth of equity in his house, and he doesn't know how his job is going to be affected. He has a really great interest rate right now, so he doesn't want to necessarily mess with that. But what happens if his industry and his business, more importantly, takes a major hit? He's going to need that backup. So play it safe. It may not be at the end the best financial decision if in 2 months we're out of this and things are back to normal, but it's a catch-22. It's a very hard decision to make.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And remember, the thing about equity too, though, is equity can be gone tomorrow, right? So, we always talk about that. Equity is not definite. I mean, people are sitting on a lot of equity right now. If you need to get some money out of your house, now would be a definitely time to do it, because equity disappears. It doesn't just stay there forever. So if it's possible to do it, you can use it to, like we said, don't go out and buy a car and TVs, and use it to float you over, or use it to put some money into the market to invest. Now would be definitely a good time to pull some of that out, I think.
Yeah. The second reason would be consolidate debt. It would be to consolidate debt. And before I get deeper into that, Yana, how are you, love? What's going on? She's asking how you could share our show. This is in the Facebook group that we have. So if they're not in Facebook, you can't share it on Facebook, but we'll do the next one on the Facebook page so you can share it. But on YouTube, our live is easy to see. You can share that link on YouTube. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much.
You. Appreciate it.
So if you're consolidating debt because you have, let's say, $1,800 a month that if you pay it off, you can save. A lot of people, I've done the study, and my team is doing a lot of this, where they're actually getting a higher interest rate on the refinance that we're giving them. But since they're paying off so much of their debt by cashing out, they're saving $1,800 a month, let's say, in this example. Then we're taking that $1,800 and then paying it towards the principal of the house, because they don't need to pay it towards the cars and the credit cards and all that stuff anymore. And believe it or not, with a higher interest rate, and going back to a 30-year mortgage, even though they lost a couple years because they've been in the house for 3, 4, or 5 years already, they're still paying off the mortgage faster than their current situation if they don't refinance. So they're pulling money out, they're clearing all their debt, they're taking that monthly payment that they used to make to their debt, and now they're paying it all towards paying off the house. And they're actually paying it faster with a higher interest rate than if they were to stay right where they are. And those are the analysis that whoever you're working with, and if you don't have somebody, contact us. We will do that analysis for you to make sure, because it's numbers and numbers don't lie. And so many people think, let me try to get a 3% interest rate, or let me try to get a 2% interest rate because rates are going to drop. And they don't realize you're paying 17, 18% on everything else you got. So who cares if you end up with a 5.5 right now? You need to eliminate all that extra debt, especially right now. So that's another good reason. And then, of course, you have the traditional refinances that are just lowering their payment a couple $100. And, of course, that makes sense.
Got it. Yeah, the key thing you said, too, though, is like analyze the numbers, right? So we kept saying right now, like, you got to be smart. You know, don't be fearful. But you should be analyzing your personal income numbers, your business numbers, right now to see what you can get rid of, what you can, bring more income into. Of course, we're all analyzing our actual portfolios to see what we can cost there. We talked about how we cut, we've cut a lot of different apps and systems that we were using. That I'm cutting CallRail, right? I've been using CallRail forever. My CRM has the built-in phone capability in it, but I've kept CallRail because I still get calls that trickle in, but it's very, very few. I don't need to pay that $100 a month right now, right? So we're going to cut CallRail after we alert the people who still use it. So you should be making those decisions right now, too, on a day-to-day basis of cutting stuff off and trimming fat. And I think a lot of people are so worried. They're either fearful, they're either on social media all day, and they're not actually stepping back and looking at their own personal situation and saying, how can I make myself better through this so that when this is over, right, either I learn some new skill sets, right, I cut some fat. Now I don't need all that, right? I thought I needed. A lot of people right now are realizing we didn't need all that stuff we thought we need. we don't need all that, right? So This is a good time to do a lot of that right now.
Agreed. Yana's saying she wants it to possibly invest, of course. So that's another great reason to stay liquid right now. And cashing out and refi is definitely a way to pull out money. Again, we have investing opportunities in different cash flow markets right now for as little as $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Those deals are happening as we speak. So you don't need 300, 400, 500,000 all the time. If you do have that liquid, you're going to be able to play Monopoly big time right now. So in this climate, in the right markets, there is definitely cash flow opportunities for as little as 30, 40. What's in your 401ks, like Jory was saying earlier. A lot of people are realizing, look at this. One of the clients I was doing a refi for yesterday, he's like 15,000 in the 401k or one of his investment retirement accounts. And he was like, man, I swear last month it was at 30. Major hit. Like you said, that could happen in your equity as well. If the market drops and you could lose a lot of equity, a lot of profit in your house for right now, but you won't lose the cash flow. Because if equity drops, it becomes a renter's market. So you now gain on the cash flow side. And then eventually, just like we saw from 2007 all the way to now, equity comes back up. But the whole time you were making your cash flow payments.
Yeah, I talked to somebody yesterday who made it. They said they hate having equity in any property, So, and it's different. I mean, I like if you buy it underneath the market and you do it that way, that's fine. I know a lot of people, if you buy too close to the top, you pull equity out, you can be underwater right now. But use equity strategically. Just use it strategically, right? Use it as a weapon to go out there and pick up more, more assets.
Yeah.
We got another question. Do you think now is a good time to scale up my marketing or to scale back? We talked about that too.
I think scaling up to what you know is working is definitely something to consider. Scale back any kind of new, oh, let me try direct mail, but you've never done direct mail. There's a learning curve for any kind of new marketing and any kind of new initiatives. But if you have something that's working and it's working well, and you want to ramp up, your motivated sellers, and you want to ramp up your cash buyers, I definitely don't think there's something wrong with something that for sure is working already. Jay, what do you think?
I made a note. I told you last time we talked that I kind of cut off direct mail marketing for a little bit because it was my most expensive tool, even though it's my best. So we've done a lot of texting right now. We're also putting more money into PPC right now, right? So PPC right now is huge because everybody's on the internet. So like Facebook ads, everybody's on Facebook right now, right? So put more money towards there. I put more money into texting because texting is very, very cheap. But also be strategic more than anything on who you are marketing to, right? I told Kevin, I'm not marketing to any owner occupants right now. I'm just not. I'm marketing only to non-owner occupant. A lot of them are, people who've owned the house for 20 years or more. So they're probably older. They're the ones whose retirement just took a hit, right? And they're seeing a retirement take a hit. They're seeing the equity of my houses might be taking a hit. Now's the time to maybe sell this property, right? So we're being very strategic on who we're marketing to and how we're marketing because we're not trying to waste any money at the moment.
Correct. See, we got a user that just lost 40,000 in the market right now. So let's take this example. If you would have had $40,000 in one of the cash flow properties that we get in Pennsylvania and Michigan and any of those markets, right now you would be bringing in anywhere between $750 to $950 a month in rent.
Yeah, $750 to $950 a month in rent right now. Yep. Yeah, so, you wouldn't have lost. If you lost rent for some reason. Right, there's programs out there right now that help you make up that rent from the government, so you would have had that guarantee. But when you lose in the stock market, there's nothing to come back to say, "Hey, here you go."
Yeah, 100%. And
we have those deals. I mean, I got 4 deals in the market right now that the average listing price is $40K. Remember we have seller financing deals that we're selling where the average money in is $5,000 down payment to get a property that's going to cash for you $150 to $200 a month. So these opportunities are very, very prevalent. I've gotten a couple messages this week from people saying you can still find those deals. We've been buying those deals forever. We've never stopped, So, now is a good time to look for those cash flow markets because these markets aren't taking a hit, right? They're not taking a hit. They're at a baseline, for the most part. Like Kevin said, you lose $15K in value, but your cash flow is not losing that value, and we're not trying to sell anytime soon.
Yeah. And I think the beautiful part, and that's what we help the people that we work with. So if you guys are interested, contact us. The people that we're bringing onto our team, Jory brought the markets because obviously the Miami market, the South Florida market, that's a tough market. That's a market right now that you're not picking up deals under 50% of value until now. Now we'll see if we can get back to that where it was 5-6 years ago. But in the last 3 years, you weren't picking up anything under 50% market value. It was tough in this market. And like you said, talk about a $40,000 here. I lost $30,000 in our 401k. Let's take that $30,000 in the small cash flow markets. You take that $30,000. We have seller financing deals where you could pick up with a $5,000 down payment 6 properties.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you could get. I mean, let's say 5. Keep a little bit in reserves, right? 5 properties that are gonna probably average you $150 cash flow per month, right? I mean, you just stretch that 30 to buy 5 properties, $150 a month in cash flow, get you through what's ever going on right now. I mean, you really can't beat that type of product that we have.
Then you get those paid off. You make a plan to make those pay off in the next 10 years or less, which we can work those numbers out for you. And there's your retirement. There's your next, God forbid, crisis.
The next 10-year cycle that's coming.
The next 10-year cycle that's coming. And you're good.
In a hard asset. Yep.
And that's the strategy that we feel everybody should be in. So anyways, let's end with talking about deals that we're in right now. I had a call last night with one of my guys that we worked on getting a deal together, and it's a 2-bedroom condo in Pembroke Pines, and I was picking it up for $140,000. The ARV on it was 175. It didn't really need a lot of work, just some cosmetic stuff. I was going to lay new tile down and redo the bathrooms, and that's it. Paint it, just lipstick on it, and it rents really well. I was picking it up at 140 right now. So the closing was supposed to be end of April, actually May 1st. They have a tenant in there. So we got a lot of issues right now. Number one, that tenant was supposed to leave before the closing. Where's the tenant going right now?
Yeah, they can't leave now.
They can't leave right now. Mm-hmm. So, obviously the seller's calling, freaking out. What are we going to do? Freaking out that the market's going to drop, freaking out that I'm going to back out of that deal. And the reality is I'm definitely renegotiating that price. I'm not buying it no more at 140. What am I going to buy it at? You know what? I still don't even know for a couple of reasons. And these are the conversations that I'm having with the sellers. Number one, all the investment loans have changed. Literally every 48 hours. They're changing guidelines. They're changing requirements. Rates are going up. Down payments are higher now. So now my original numbers change. And if I'm going to buy cash in this kind of a climate, I need to get it at a dramatic discount.
Yeah, deep discount.
For this to be worth it. And the conversation now with the seller is exactly that. Listen, brother, the whole lending climate has changed, and it keeps changing. I may wake up tomorrow and it changes on me again. So it's becoming more and more expensive for me to borrow money right now on an investment property. So if I put the cash for it, what are we talking about? How bad do you need to get out of this deal? And then on top of that, we still need to talk about the tenant, because there's another deal that if you listen to one of our shows with the Cash Home Queens, she just got her first investment property. It's in the same area, and she literally finished the renovation. And we were on the phone the other day, and she was talking about, damn, I dragged my feet on the renovation. We had a flip that we're doing that the city was dragging their feet and losing our plans, and then the architect was dragging their feet. Right now, everyone's learning the hard way the value of speed.
I just texted you about the appraiser in our refi who went on vacation for 2 weeks, and we got our refi frozen the day we're supposed to close.
Exactly. So right now, people are learning that speed sometimes is better than saving $1. Speed is sometimes better than anything else. Like when a deal looks good, when something looks good, you got to move. Because right now, she can't get that property rented right now because we're on lockdown. So she's now sitting on a beautifully renovated, brand new apartment that she can't rent right now because who's going to go see it? So it's tough. We're going to have that conversation with the seller, and we'll see what price we come, and I'll update you guys next week on the weekly show of where we're looking on that deal.
Before I go, there's a question that user asked that actually we just pivoted on this a few days ago, because every state I do business in right now, the whole state's on stay in place order. So he's asking, how are investors handling seller appointments during stay in place orders? So two things. We're still, like I said, we're still marketing the sellers nonstop right now. And we actually are talking to the sellers. We're getting information on property. We're trying to find their price. Then I'm explaining to them, look, there's a stay in place order till April 30th right now. So me or my associates will stay in touch with you over the next few weeks. We're going to run our numbers, see if your range fits where we think we're at. And then when everything clears out, we'll set up a time to come look at the property, right? So we're getting that first initial contact so they still know that we're looking to buy houses. And we're going to follow up with them pretty much every 10 days. Just say, hey, we're just checking in. We're still interested. Let you know when this is over. We'll come out and set an appointment. So that's what we're doing. On all occupied properties, we are looking at vacant properties still now. But on everything that's occupied, definitely we're just, we're still contacting that seller. We're letting them know who we are. Let them know what we do, and then we're staying in touch with them so that when everything opens up, let's say it opens up May 1st, we got a bunch of appointments lined up, and we're out there hitting the ground running.
Yeah, now more than ever, you're building relationship skills is the name of the game.
Yeah, I talked to Sarah this morning who told me, he gets these texts every day, and of course he's getting them all the time now. He's like, the fact that you called me is the reason why, I believe you're serious. He's like, because I'm getting texts every day from people. He's like, but the fact that you actually called me is why, we're really about selling this house. So if you're afraid to cold call, pick up the phone. Now is not the time to do that, because pick up the phone and call these people and actually talk to them, over the phone. Talking over the phone is still closer than the text to the majority of people.
And if they have FaceTime them, have them walk the property, show the property through the phone. That you're still not gonna maybe be able to see the property exactly the way you need to, but you're building the rapport, you're building the relationship, you're building the trust. They're getting to know you, like you, and trust you, so that when we can make moves, you're gonna be the person that does it versus the people that are half-assing right now these opportunities and say, all right, yeah, well, I'll call you back when all this is done and we'll figure this out. Which one do you think is going to get it? The one that spent 25 minutes walking the property with you through FaceTime and however, or even just audio virtually. Walk me through the kitchen. What's going on there? Actually have the same conversation that you would be having if you were there with them and build that relationship. And then now stay in touch with them on a weekly basis. Hey, how you holding up? Hey, what do you think? Hey, everything good? Hey, making sure you're checking in. Everybody's in good health. Hey, let me know if you need anything, whatever. Amazon them some products if they're in a bad situation. I'll tell you what, if they're run out of toilet paper and you send a seller that you got under contract during this time a box of baby wipes from Amazon, that deal is yours. It's relationship building.
It's relationship building. It always is. I think that's what people forget. When the market is really, really good, and houses just fly off the market, you're not really building those relationships you do in a tougher market where it's like who you know and who you talk to and who you build rapport with is who's going to sell you their house. So I know it's been easy going for the last 4 or 5 years, more than ever now. Building those skills with people one-on-one, and actually listening to the phone call, not rushing through the call to get them off the phone, but actually listen to what they're saying, find out the pain points, and it being that's what's going to get you through, any kind of down market that we go through. So, yeah, I mean, we're still we built out a new CRM workflow yesterday specifically for right now. I call it our Rona appointment flow, and we have follow-up scheduled in there. So, it used to be, take the appointment, follow up. Now it's like make the follow-up call, second follow-up call, so that we stay in touch with these sellers during this situation.
Beautiful. All right, my brother. We'll announce the weekly schedule of this every single time. We're going to start doing Zoom interviews for people out there that are doing deals or in these situations. We'll get on Zoom. We'll do a podcast show. We're still releasing our podcasts every single week. So make sure you check us out on Spotify, iTunes, all the major podcast platforms. We're on there. And then we're going to do this weekly live show on YouTube and our Facebook page and our Facebook group. We have a free Facebook group. Make sure you join us on there. As ask 2 or 3 questions before you log on just to make sure you're legit and you're not a spammer. And then we do private Facebook lives just like this in there. So let me know, guys, if you guys have any questions, if you're looking to take advantage of the opportunities. We are partnering with a lot of people to get ready in these cash flow markets. There's a lot of great deals. You don't need a ton of cash. And if you do have a ton of cash, monopoly time.
Definitely. All right, guys. Hey, be safe. Keep picking up some skills. Use your time wisely right now. You got a lot of time in your hands. Use it wisely. And make the best of it that you can, All right, Kevin.
Stay safe, my brother. I'll talk to you later.